Hello, my name is Andrew Bass and I own CEB. We are a booking agency and we've been booking gigs for more than 30 years. On March the 15th, when the pandemic arrived in Ireland, it shut down all of our pubs and clubs, and this meant we couldn't send bands for you to go to. It also left thousands of Irish musicians in Oblivion, which, as it happens, is the name of our recording facility. This is it here, the Oblivion Recording Company. Now, we thought if we can't put on shows for you to go to, we will bring some shows to you. We're going to cover rock bands, punk bands, ballad bands, trad bands, tribute bands, any genre at all. And if you'd like to be featured on the show, please get in touch. Send your band links to info@ceb.ie. So episode 1, Sessions from Oblivion. This is Car Crash.
Joking with you, but you seem upset. Regressive, wrong. Incorrect. Not listening. Right when you're wrong. And everybody's arguing over absolutely nothing on the internet. There's a lack of intellect, and your ideas shouldn't fit your identity. Jesus hates Christ, save me from theocracy. Confirmation bias. There's echo chambers of confirmation bias. If you support Palestine, you're an anti-Semite. If you support Israel, you're an Islamophobe.
Okay, that was Car Crash live in Oblivion Studios, playing Them Not Us. I'm very happy to have them here in my spiritual home of Dwyer's Dunboyne. So I'll start with you. How did Car Crash come together?
Me and Jay played together years. We made a noisy EP under a different name called I Am a Car Crash in about 2015, and then we got in a guy called Shane, who was a friend of mine from work, and then we met Sorsha and we joined Sorsha and became Car Crash.
Sorsha, you're the new member. You're the Ronnie Wood of Car Crash.
Pretty much, yeah. I joined about a year ago.
Will you tell me, you saw them in Fibbers
Yeah, I was actually in Fivers one night. I was out for a few pints with my best mate Tahoe, and I was going through.
She went to see the other band that were playing.
I went to see the
that
band
night.
that they were supporting. Had a few pints. I was actually in the toilet and I heard this mad song going on in the background. I came out and I had my pints stumbling out of the toilet, and they just were about to just rip into the chorus of Violent Drift. I heard that hit in. I just stopped and went, whoa.
Should you be touring the world with somebody from?
Yeah, briefly I'll say I should be out touring the proverbial world with Steve Ignorant playing crass songs.
I asked the band to send me some words about the tunes that we recorded, and that first song you heard, Them Not Us, I got this: a social commentary that bites everyone around the campfire. I have no idea what that means. Would you care to explain, John?
Well, the song is just a social commentary that doesn't really take any particular side. So whatever your ideology or your political leaning or your identity is, if you base something on it, it will annoy you in some way or other.
Where are you on that spectrum?
Nowhere. Like, that's why when people go, are you a political band? No, because we don't represent any political ideology. We'll talk about what we want to talk about. But the fundamental thing I'm always talking about, and a lot of the songs talk about, is just be a fucking human and work it up from there.
Yeah.
Like, instead of being a white person, or a well-off person, or a poor person, or whatever it might be, a black person, whatever you might want to class yourself or identify as, just go with human and it'd be a bit easier, I think.
You mentioned to me before, when you write lyrics, that you just sort of write them, they just come out.
They do, yeah, and then I work it out later.
Okay. All right, time for more music.
That was a bit deep, sorry.
I like
Tell
it.
jokes next time.
But after this song, we'll get a few knock jokes.
I'll tell some one-liners, I promise.
Knock, who's there? Car crash. The end.
I like a band that you don't have to think when you listen to them.
Yeah, so.
Okay, second of three from Car Crash live in the studio. This is Moral Champs. Okay, that was Moral Champs by Car Crash playing live in Oblivion Studios, and I'd asked the guys to send me over some notes about the tunes, and on this one, intriguingly, they sent Imelda May getting chased by the Pixies on some bad mushrooms, a song only for the most righteous, pure and true. Jay, what's that all about?
Well, John can talk about the lyrical content, but the song, when we kind of wrote it or whatever, it does have that kind of like train kind of, and that's kind of what Imelda May's kind of shtick is on, and it's
got like a classic rockabilly.
Yeah, exactly. Rockabilly kind of that sort of stuff.
Absolutely kills my wrist. So after we played, you'll usually see me like shake my wrist.
No different to a Friday night.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is true.
Once we had that kind of going, John was able to go off on the lyrics, so he'll be able to kind of elaborate.
John, what's the song about?
It's just poking fun at when people share stories about something good they've done online and just ruin the good of it. Stand by your keyboards and wait for instructions.
Yeah. You know, like we're all just
ready to go, just like I'm about to jump in and show everyone how
Tell me
great
what
I
to
am.
feel. Tell me what to feel, Facebook.
Are Car Crash a political band?
Yeah, some people say we are. I would say we're not. I would say we just say things about what we feel about situations and stuff, and we never shy away.
So when you're writing songs, you mentioned before, at the moment you're man watching.
I'm doing a lot of man watching, yeah.
What's that about?
It's just fun because, guys, if a woman watches a man, for sure, the man acts different. If a man watches a man, the guard isn't down. A guy will try and bond with you about horrible shit. He'll be like, did you see the tits on her walking by and stuff like that? And I'll be like, you disgust me as a person, don't talk to me, but so when you're on a bus or when I'm on public transport, I'll look at a guy if he's rubbernecking and I'll keep an eye on him, and then I get to see the way he acts, and then I get to write about that to a certain extent.
Okay. So there's a song in the pipeline about man watching.
Yeah, we have a song called Blonde Men Are the Worst. That's about that. And then
Blonde Men Are the Worst. Why blonde men? None of you are blonde.
Yeah.
You had to pick somebody.
Well,
experience.
they're the most Aryan.
Really?
They're always the ones that will do the hand around the hip when you're trying to get by, just slight little things.
It's rare you meet a sound blonde man. It's like meeting a sound guy called Reese.
Reese?
Yeah, if a guy's called Reese, he's doing very well if he sounds
right.
James as well.
What if he's blonde and called Reese?
He hasn't got much hope.
No, it's all over.
It's just, some people were never born with a chance.
Right. Okay. So,
but no, it's only making fun. Blonde Men, it's just a funny title.
Yeah, it's just
we have
really
nothing
fun.
against blonde men.
Well,
yeah.
We've insulted everybody.
Yeah. As I said, everyone around the campfire. Everyone around the campfire.
Blonde people called Reese.
Yeah.
Everyone is getting it.
But the main target are politicians and war.
Oh yeah,
we hate war.
Can
we stop war?
Yeah.
Can that happen?
Right, so we're going to have a segment in each program where I have discussions with industry professionals and performers, and they tell us their tips and tricks on how to get ahead in this business of show. This week it's icon of Irish music, IanWilson. Hello, Ian, and how are you doing today?
Andrew, good day to you.
Thank you very much for taking the time to be part of Tips and Tricks. And of course, to my age group, you don't need any introduction at all. But for the younger viewers, I should point out that you are a founding producer for RTE 2FM and a great champion of Irish rock music for many decades. I'd imagine over 40 anyway.
Well, let's call it new music, because we did spread it did start off as a kind of a rock show and sort of punk and new wave, but we quickly moved into it.
Yeah, the fanning sessions themselves were just manna from heaven, really.
Yeah, it was
for young bands.
Take the big recording studios we had and use them. Get new bands in and stick them on the airwaves, because at that stage recording were very expensive to make for a band. Studio and all that technology, incredibly expensive. I mean, you couldn't comprehend the difference in cost.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember the phone call, but I think I was 20 or 21, and I'd been listening to the show, and you'd featured some band. So I rang the radio station and asked to speak to somebody from the Dave Fanning Rock Show, and I was patched through to you. you,
Oh yeah.
you took the call, and I explained, I had a new 3-piece band, and we'd done a demo in Eamon Andrews Studios, all of 4 tracks, a lot of bouncing, and I posted that to you, and you called me back and said, come on in, we'd like to do a session, which was just incredible. We'd never recorded more than 4 tracks. I think we'd made 2 demos. So it'd been a 24-track studio. And then, of course, you'd produce the band, and then you'd feature that band on the Dave Fanning show. And not only that, but you gave us money.
Yeah, but given that we were the only national radio program at that stage, and we were doing that, you had a really good chance as an Irish band, a band in Ireland, of getting a session. Far better chance than you would have had in a population of 56 million of getting a session on the Peel Show or BBC Radio 1. So it was a big level of access.
It was fantastic, and then to be played on the airwaves, absolutely brilliant stuff. I was looking up something, and I found a great quote by, if you don't mind, Mr. Fanning. IanWilson is mad. He's strident and opinionated. He annoys people. By way of balance, I'm sure he also has some bad points, but I don't know what they are. In this segment of the show is tips and tricks from industry professionals, and I'd like to know your top 3 tips or tricks for young up-and-coming bands.
Okay, first thing before I do that, just let's say to you that, look, hey, that's cool, isn't it? The way that does it. Ooh. Anyway, enough of that.
Thanks for that.
There is no magic in this. It's a mixture of hard work, a little bit of being smart, talent and luck, and probably in that order. But that's the way it is. I have 3 general sort of things here. One is a really practical thing, is for people starting out, do not overspend on your early demos, videos. It's much cheaper to record material these days than it used to be, but there's a lot of video with music now, inevitably, so you can spend a lot of money very easily, and frankly, you're throwing a lot of money at this stuff very early on in your career, unless it's somebody else's money. I strongly would advise against it. Wait till you know a bit more and you've a bit more idea what you're about before you start throwing your own money at expensive videos or expensive productions and so on. It's a really bad way to spend money early on for bands, groups, singers, performers, whatever you like to call it. Secondly, first, it's the songs, by which I mean what's going to get you anywhere, what's going to get your attention, what's going to ultimately get you somebody to pay money to help record you is your songs. And the main revenue stream now for artists is going to be songwriting, the publishing, the playing of your material on air, on video, on film, on television, and so on and so on. That's actually what's going to make you any money at the minute. There is no other money to be made from most bands, and it's increasingly gone that way anyway. Trying to actually sell copies of your music, whether it be in physical or in digital form, is hard work compared to the way it used to be. Now that may change, but it's your songs. I mean, it's your Spotify plays, it's your airplays and so on, which is all based around publishing. The ownership of the songs. That's where the real money is. So it's the songs, guys. Anyways, but back to what we were talking about. The third thing, which is sort of related to what we're talking about there, is do the research before you start sending your material out. Do something as simple as get a hot press yearbook so you know who you're talking to in Ireland, and it gives you. It's not perfect, but it gives you a good guide to what's going on, contacts in the business, and how to find people and so on. And before you start bombarding people with material, check out what they do, how they relate. Are they going to relate to what you're actually doing? And the reason I say this is not that it's just a waste of time. You haven't unlimited time. And what you must do when you send stuff out to people is to check back in with them. And you can't check back in with 100 people. 55 or 60 of whom are not remotely interested in what you're doing. You're better off to suss out the 30 or 40 people who are interested and persist with them. You're going to get much more results. And so this, I said, work out what you're offering, and who's the best people to offer it to. You know,
Okay.
have a, you know, that's simple research, and it does get results.
Right. Brilliant.
Well, you know this yourselves. You said you sent the material. You made the contact. You sent the material. The material was listened to. You got a response. Now
But go to the people that are relevant to your style of act.
big time.
And most
as
importantly, have a good song to begin with.
Yes, and as I said, the song will work. Do not overly spend on the production elements of it in the first place.
Like you say, recordings come down. It's not nearly what it was. It was nearly unattainable in the 80s, and now people can record at home and with high quality too.
And focus on the songs. Don't focus on the production so much and all the latest tricks and all that. That's not going to work ultimately. It's the songs people want. You know?
Yeah, brilliant. Mr. Wilson, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for the sessions in the 80s, and also you've been giving me some advice on this program as well in the background. So thank you very much for that too, Ian. Yes,
and as I said, a lot of health and safety advice, but these days it's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Got to be done. Thank you very much, Ian.
Cheers,
Talk
man.
to you soon.
Bye now. Bye.
Okay, we're back with Car Crash, and delightful people that they are, noise merchants.
Yeah.
Is it post-punk? Is that what you call yourselves?
Yeah. Or whatever people say we are.
Yeah.
Shit.
You
Shit. Whatever it might
We
be.
are the shit.
The shit.
We
Shit.
are
It says on your Facebook page, band interests: beer, pizza, loudness, sex, ribs, and darkness.
Oh shit! I wrote that ages ago.
That's a healthy
sex,
mix.
ribs, and there.
The ribs is in relation to
Yeah, that was a different genre.
Really?
Mad into your ribs.
I don't. Ribs and darkness. You should just eat ribs, listen to Leonard Cohen.
Right, okay. It also says in your biography, close your majestic eyes and picture talking heads smashing into a factory of cymbals while you two are doused in petrol and frame grilled on the roof.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay. Do you like talking heads?
I love talking heads, yeah, and I love you too as well. As an Irishman, I'm going to out myself and say I love you too.
There's been a big surge in post-punk as well, with Fontaines and the Murder Capital, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's
you
cool
guys sort of
now.
sit into it. It is great, and it's stuff I like. I'm a fan. Actually, I'm a fan of your guitar playing. You're as Bowie said, you know, it's ultimately important that you avoid the tyranny of the mainstream, and you do that. You make a beautiful discordant noise.
Cool.
It's obviously on purpose. I mean, you looked at me with disdain when you said the word solo.
It's more so because I'm not proficient enough to play a solo.
But you don't want
maybe.
John is completely.
And Sorsha,
Not a Sorsha,
what was the
I don't
first
know
album
that
that
word.
gave you a kick up the arse?
Oh god.
It was Siamese Dream by the Smashing Pumpkins. It's between Siamese Dream and the first Placebo album.
She got lucky.
That was it
could've
was
went
between
either way,
Siamese Dream and the Smashing Pumpkins. But unlike JD and Jay, I am a massive emo. Like it's like one of my favourite albums of all time is by a band called From First to Last. It's called Heroin, and it's just a wall of sound, and it's just intense.
Because Lou Reed had a song called Heroin as well. Great.
Doesn't know
Listen
who
to this
Louis
mad
is.
album.
Really?
I want that Metallica album with
Studio.
Yeah.
But no, I take a heavier approach as well. I'm a mix between grunge and metal, but then again, one of my all-time favourite albums is Spice World by the Spice Girls.
Really?
And I absolutely love stuff like that. Like I just sit there listening to the Venga Boys on loop as well.
I was talking to Deco from Paranoid Visions, and I said to him, because he puts up all this stuff, it's all punk, and I said, is there anything else? Like, there's lots of other music out there, and I grew up in punk rock, but I remember listening to the Buzzcocks. They're essentially a pop band.
Yeah.
You know, and then Elvis Costello, and then he turned all country stuff, but it opens up loads of avenues, and you as you get older, you know. And he said to me, well, that's not totally true. He's a massive ELO fan.
Oh my god, really?
Well,
Is he? I don't know if that's opening the door now, but yeah.
No, he said it online as well. I suppose that'd be a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But mine would be Bruce. I'm a big fan.
There's
of
no
Bruce.
such thing as guilty pleasures.
Right, well, yours is Spice World.
No such thing
John,
as guilty pleasures.
is there a guilty pleasure?
Guilty.
I'm just gonna out myself. Yeah, I really like some Aha stuff, and I really like the first two Cranberries albums. which a lot of people keep me thinking about. A lot of people, and I really like the Cardigans as well. Well, like I wouldn't be into like Jay and Source would be into much heavier music than me. Like my favourite band would be like The Cure and The Smiths.
I'd listen to a lot of Japanese metal bands as well, specifically
metal.
Japanese rave metal, because that's.
See what we're dealing with.
I do love a bit of baby metal. Ah, come on, you can't like. There's nothing like going for a run and baby metal is screaming in the
I've
background.
never heard of rave metal.
No, baby metal.
Baby metal. Japanese baby
Oh, baby
metal.
metal is the name of a band.
It's a big
Oh,
metal
okay,
band,
sorry.
there's three
Not a genre.
genres.
Well, I listen to like Japanese
Great if it
rave
was.
metal.
It's
Like,
just a rabbit hole.
Crossfade.
It's a rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crossfade are like one of my all-time favourite bands.
Right.
It's intense.
Okay, well, look, we're going to play out with the final song,
Yeah.
which is called
It's called Dead Scenery.
Dead Scenery.
Dead
And
Scenery.
you guys sent me this yesterday, a chugging loudness that can remind one of what it's like to kiss a high-speed vehicle, bringing the fuck buddy dynamic to the front and centre with the cheek and lick. What does that mean?
It's the safest way to get the feeling of a bus hitting you in the face without dying from the impact. And then it's just kind of I think the first lyric in the song is "Give me raw power," and that's because when we were playing this song, it sounded like an Iggy Pop song, so that's where that just came from. Give me raw power, and then the rest of the song just went on to. It led from there into
Or
kind
you
of
can
sexual
also
lyrics.
take
I
it
guess.
as like
That's
chorus
not on the current.
Not on the current album. It'll be on the next
okay.
album.
Where can people buy the current album?
It is available on our Bandcamp, which is Carcrash at Bandcamp, and then if you want to go on Facebook, we're on Facebook, carcrashband.
Okay.
And we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram.
So go to your Facebook page,
Yeah.
Car Crash Band, and all the links will be there. Buy the album, folks. So it's the final song. Thank you very much, guys.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
Good time.
Enjoy the song.
Dead Scenery, Car Crash.
Give me raw power. There's somebody watching you. It's not what you're saying, it's what you're doing. It's not what you're playing, it's who you're screwing. Oh, Deborah, just like you, to be famous, to be a star, to be aimless. And don't forget, you've already forgotten. And don't forget, you've already got rotten. Deborah, Deborah. She has a lover, a dirty secrets. I wanna get drunk with you. I wanna kiss in your baby and make you a lady. I wanna get you all wet and make you forget. And she said, and we said,